the one Kyra likes is the one where the coworkers get mad at the guy for basically hitting the lotto and quitting, and they think that he should have given them some of the money since he's leaving them in a lurch. So that's one. And then the dog ex-wife thing. A man and a wife, husband and wife, married, get divorced because the wife has an affair with a dude. The husband gets a new dog because the wife took the dog in the divorce. And the husband names that dog after the dude who cheated with his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the stories.
Thank you.
Did you get your
that.
nails done?
I did. Nails done for the holidays.
Nice cranberry color. Cranberry sauce.
Squeezed it in yesterday.
I'd be concerned if I did that to my fingers because I feel like I'd bite
You'd
mine.
eat them?
Yeah,
Like
accidentally.
Jameis? Are you eating wins?
No,
Are you eating wins on Thanksgiving?
No, I'm a loser.
I got
don't
a
win.
side of wins.
I don't win. And our wins aside, wins would be the main. The side would be all those silly stats.
Again, everything is a side on Thanksgiving.
No.
It's not that difficult.
No, fried chicken is
Yes.
not a side.
Yes,
Turkey
it
is not a
is.
side. Duck is not a side. Meatloaf is not a side.
Who's having meatloaf at
Some people have
Thanksgiving?
meatloaf. Some people have the loaf.
Couldn't be me.
No, it wouldn't be me either. What was the
Just
song
the
today?
loaf. Janelle Monáe,
Ooh.
Tightrope.
Oh,
I think that was my first
I love me some.
Janelle Monáe song. It put me in a good mood. I know, now you're thinking about her.
oh, Janelle.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Do you have as big of a last day?
You can't go
last
from
day
Janelle
before,
Monáe
last
to
day before
big.
holiday break vibes as I
come
do
on.
right now.
Come on.
They are high.
Oh, let's get through
We
this
saw Peter
nonsense.
Pan last night. You saw half of Peter Pan last night.
I was exhausted.
Too tired.
I was exhausted sitting there.
Great Thanksgiving tale, Peter Pan.
Listen, my wife asked me on the way there. She's like, hey, when you think of Peter Pan, what do you think of? Immediate Captain Hook.
Yeah.
What I said was Hook. She's like, oh, like the movie? No. Captain Hook. And the way that Captain Hook prances about
good.
on stage, oh, it made me
Slay,
smile.
girl. Slay. What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, November 27th. Going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Yes?
Your voice all the way back?
It's close. Here's the test. No, not quite. And you made me cough. Jeez Louise. Coming up on today's show, the Memphis Tigers are into the championship game in Maui. Penny Hardaway has wins over Dan Hurley and Tom Izzo in back-to-back days. We'll talk about the impressive feast week for the Tigers so far. It is a Grizzlies game day. They played the Pistons tonight right here at FedEx Forum. They will be without Ja Morant. Are we concerned? We will discuss. The new college football playoff rankings came out last night, which sets up a thrilling rivalry weekend. DeAngelo Williams will join us about 40 minutes in. We'll end with a little story time. If you're joining us live, be sure to vote on the story options of the day. We'll do a little WTF included in that. Drake has fired back at Kendrick Lamar, not with a rap, but with legal action. And we'll get into what a loser. Shape of an L on his forehead. We're going to have some fun. It's our last day before a holiday break. You know what we say. Clear eyes, full hearts. Can't lose. You've never watched Friday Night Lights? Oh my God.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. But the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Now every time you go to Miami, you can go see, like, that's a statue of me there.
No, I don't look nothing like that thing, man. Look, I'm sorry.
I would have been offended.
Look at that. That is UTA.
Oh, look. Hey, y'all got to get that screenshot, man. Put that on the...
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
It's the top 5 worst teams in the NFL. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
I got the Saints number 1. Ha! Let's put the Aints up there. They're terrible.
I'll take the Titans as my worst team in the NFL. If they played Will Levis, they're for sure the worst team. Maybe in NFL history. Might be worse than the 0-16 Lions if they play Will Levis.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own a day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, our last show of the week with Thanksgiving coming up. We are off. Exactly. Thursday and Friday. But no rest for the Memphis Grizzlies. No place like home for the holidays. No place like FedEx Forum, where we will be tonight for Grizzlies Pistons. We will be back on Friday for Grizzlies Pelicans with NBA Cup action. And then we'll be back on Sunday for Grizzlies Pacers. So lots of Grizzlies action to get into. CJ and I went to the theater last night to see Peter Pan. We were talking about it a little bit in the open. Did you know that Peter Pan the musical existed before Peter Pan the movie? Peter Pan the musical has been around forever.
Really?
Forever.
We're talking about the old school Disney movie.
Correct.
The musical existed before the old school. Really?
1954.
I didn't know.
They used to show it on TV 3 years in a row. They showed it on TV. It was an American classic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought we just created like Broadway. I did. I'm sorry.
Do you not listen to anything I say?
You've never told me when Broadway was created.
Did you think Wicked created Broadway?
No.
In 2011.
No.
I just wanted to say Wicked because our boss yesterday was like, "Are you going to talk about Wicked all week?" And I was like, "No." And yes,
you should.
Happy Wicked Wednesday to all who celebrate.
Oh, turn up. I thought Moulin Rouge created Broadway.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, excuse me, Chicago, the Moulin Rouge created Broadway.
Thank you for the goal.
No problem.
I was looking up first Broadway musical of all time. I
Which
should
one?
know that off the top.
Why would you know that off the top of your head? Why is that something you should know off the top
Black
of your head?
The Black Crook in 1866.
I bet they were in blackface.
I want to know the premise of that one.
What is it?
The Black Crook.
In what year?
1866.
Yeah.
Something tells me.
Sounds like
something tells me it won't be revived.
Sounds like somebody in blackface
I
running up, stealing like a pie or
revival.
something like that and running away.
I always think of, there's this show called Showboat, which also has a complicated history. That was it was based on the 1926 novel. And it came out in 1927. So that's like old. But anyway, Peter Pan goes way back.
Didn't know
and usually, like historically, Peter Pan's been played by a 30-year-old woman, but now it's played by a 17-year-old boy, which feels a little bit more appropriate.
My man got a 5 o'clock shadow. Like, it's like, oh, you've got a beard coming in, my guy. You're not as young as you look.
No, but the flying was really cool. I will say, the flying was spectacular.
The way they did the flying and the way they did, like, the chase scenes.
Yes.
That set was remarkable, man.
Yeah, the screen usage, like, they've revived it. It's now based in modern times. It was always historically, like, old London, and now it's Americans and modern, and they have technology and all that jazz. But if you have kids, go see it at the Orpheum. It was packed last night. It was great to see the theater full with families in town for the holidays. So between the Grizzlies, Peter Pan, lots to do this weekend. And Captain Hook slays.
Captain Hook.
I have no other word for it.
Captain Hook, and what's the phenomenal.
One of my favorite characters to find at Disneyland when I was a kid was Shmee. Because I just thought it was like the funniest random character to find at all times. Are you familiar with a song called Gobble Gobble before we get into the Memphis Tigers, who got another huge win in Maui yesterday? Have you ever heard of the song Gobble Gobble?
Is that by Iggy Azalea and Kesha?
No, it's by a man named Matthew West.
Okay, no, I'm unfamiliar with
who
Mr.
I've never
West's
heard
work.
of.
Yes.
But I wanted to share the good tidings because Chris, my husband, who is in studio with his lovely parents this morning, Billy and Dina, they are in studio. We have a live studio audience. There you go. But Gobble Gobble is a Thanksgiving song. We don't have enough Thanksgiving songs. We only have Christmas songs.
Right.
And this song was created as a Thanksgiving song, and I just want to sing it to you. Gobble, gobble, 1. Gobble, gobble, 2. Gobble, gobble, me. Gobble, gobble, you. Gobble, gobble, 3. Gobble, gobble, 4. Gobble, gobble, please. Can I have some more? Oh, my, get that turkey in my belly. Oh, my, with the cranberry jelly. Oh, my, come on and sing it with me. Happy Thanksgiving, as CJ twerks in the corner. Isn't that a bop? I've never heard it. Came out in 2021.
Incredible.
Somehow it is.
Well, because it came out in 2021. That's recent history, not historically accurate.
Yeah, but I'm cool. I'm hip.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I rock with that.
Add that to your list over the weekend. You can also watch another meaningful Memphis Tigers basketball game today because the Memphis Tigers are in the Maui Invitational Championship game after taking down Michigan State 71-63. They are going to play Auburn today. And CJ, the streets are saying that Memphis should have been a top 25 team. The streets are saying that Tyrese Hunter and PJ Haggerty might just be the best backcourt in all of college basketball. And the streets are admitting that they were very, very wrong about this Memphis Tigers team. All of the big voices of the college basketball world seemingly came together in unison yesterday to say, we missed this entirely. And with wins over UConn and Michigan State in back-to-back days, today's test against Auburn, number 4 ranked team in the country, took down North Carolina yesterday in their semifinal game, will obviously be the toughest team that they have faced through this whole thing. I really like this team. I enjoy watching them play. And I do think there are some things that might not be the most sustainable, as in Tyrese Hunter and PJ Haggerty making every single off-balance step-back 3 that they've taken. The two of them through these 2 games have combined for 87 points while shooting 50% from 3 and 49% from the field. That's absurd. Like, the shot making has been incredible. Will that stay the rest of the season? Mathematically, statistically speaking, probably not. However, that combined with just how tough this team plays, the physicality that they have shown in these 2 games has really impressed me. Like, they care. And we first saw that kind of in the late minutes of their exhibition game against North Carolina, but that was an exhibition game and we just don't really talk about it. But throughout this season, I've just been wildly impressed, and everybody has been. Like, this is the time where it's feast week. People start paying attention to college basketball. It's the perfect time for the Tigers to surge. Penny Hardaway talked about it yesterday, like understanding why they weren't ranked in the top 25, needing to get wins like these to establish themselves as a team to pay attention to this season. But they've certainly done that.
Yeah.
Are you going to hate on it? Are you going to be a pre-Thanksgiving hater?
I don't want to.
No.
I will say Matthew West, the songwriter and singer for the hit song Gobble Gobble, is a Tennessee resident.
Is he?
That's according to Wink in the chat. So
Tennessee.
I'm trying to figure out where at in Tennessee the homie is from. I guess I could have Googled it and not asked him, but I'm gonna figure that out. Yeah, listen, take nothing away from what these wins mean right now. If you can get back-to-back wins over programs like UConn and Michigan State with those types of names, that's impressive, man, no matter who you are. And for this Tigers team, a team that had a bunch of goofiness around them to start the season, I think that this is a player transferred the day of the first game or something like that, if I remember correctly, or the day before. You had the coaches all getting fired 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the season started, and they found a way to stay focused, stay committed, get the stuff implemented that they want to implement it, and they went out there and got 2 wins over 2 programs, one of which, we keep saying it, back-to-back national champions, and the other one is one of the best teams in the Big Ten, which is one of the best conferences in the nation, right? So you've got that. That's impressive. I will say, I don't think that Haggerty and what's my other one's name? Hunter. I don't think that they can continue to shoot 50% from 3. It's not like they are getting open looks. Those shots are really, really difficult, and eventually you regress closer to the mean when you start. If all you're taking are difficult shots, that percentage will fall, and then we'll be sitting up here potentially. I don't want to speak it into existence, but potentially in January, like, oh, they were making 50% of those shots earlier in the season. Why are they no longer making fit? Why are they only making like 15%, right? Like that's a thing that I think will happen. Coach Hardaway and the Memphis Tigers will have to make some adjustments, find ways to get easier shots. But hey, they won those games. Those are quad 1 wins. Those are quad 1 wins that when we look at it come March, will still be quad 1 wins and hold up favorably. You need to win those games, and then, because they won some of those games last year, and then they didn't do the second part, which was avoid bad losses in mass. Right? If you're going to lose to Tulsa, or is Tulsa even in this conference? I don't know, East Carolina or Temple. Like, if you're going to lose to those types of teams, get 1, maybe 2. Don't have 4 straight losses to teams like that, right? And that's what they did last year. I think they ended last year going back to like January 18th. I think January 18th is when that first loss happened. And then they rattled off 4 straight losses. And then I feel like they ended the year like 8-9 or 9-8. Like, you can't do that. Get these wins. That's step 1. Step 2 is get the wins you're supposed to get in conference. And if you can't get all of the wins you're supposed to get in conference, it's going to be hard to run the table in any conference. Right. Don't string off 5 or 6 losses in this conference, because that's not going to be good enough.
No, but you did have to get these wins to bolster your resume because of how bad the American was perceived to be, and how it is played out as well. When you look at some of these early American records, teams like UAB being 4-4, who were anticipated to be one of the better teams in the American. FAU 4-4. Yes, Tulsa is in the American 4-4. Tulane 4-3. South Florida 4-3. I mean, Memphis needed to have the opportunity to, of these first 6 games, 5 of those wins have been over top 100 KenPom teams. And that is how you make a resume come March that gets respected in a way that supersedes the American. You're completely right. You can't now go and drop one of these random games to an East Carolina or a Charlotte, or God forbid, the food of rice.
You can. You could drop 1.
You can drop 1, but you can't drop multiple.
They dropped 4 straight last year.
Yes, I remember it well.
Like, that's the stuff you got to avoid.
Yeah.
It's hard going undefeated in any conference. I don't want to put that on anybody in the nation, no matter how pitiful the conference is, whether you're Gonzaga or St. Mary's or you're Memphis in the American, right? I don't want to put
Kansas. Number 1 team in the country lost last night.
I don't want to put that wasn't a conference game, but I get what you're saying.
But I just mean a loss.
I don't want to put going undefeated in your conference as the standard for anybody, or as the expectation for anybody. But what is a fair expectation is for you to lose no more than 3 games in conference. Again, not lose 7 or 8 of them in 10 games. That's bad. Nobody's going to be in one of these non-power conferences. Nobody's going to be able to get into the big dance if you got 7 or 8 conference losses, because that puts you middle of the pack in your conference. You got to run through your conference tournament to get the AQ bid, right? So to avoid that, avoid losing 8, 9 games in conference. That's all I'm asking the Tigers to do. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't.
I think that's a fair level of realism.
But we've seen this before, and we saw it last year. Like, come on, man. Let's see. I look forward to seeing what they do against Auburn. Another chance for them to get a big-time signature win.
Right. And signature performances in a sport where less and less people know individual names in college basketball, people who tuned into either of those games and saw Tyrese Hunter making step-back 3 after step-back 3. He was 5 of 10 from 3 again in yesterday's game. That 4-point play that made it a 10-point game all but sealed it for Memphis. It felt like a complete hammer nail coffin. There were still like 6 minutes left in the game, but it felt like a finisher for Memphis. And then PJ Haggerty PJ Haggerty might be an NBA player. He does everything. 16 points last night, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal. He is all over the court. His physicality has certainly stood out. Dane Danger has been really impressive as a standout big for this group. His ability to get to the basket, his touch is nice.
I like Danger a lot.
I like him a lot. He also has one of the best names.
Danger!
Like now we can really lean into the Danger. Still can't quite go that high. And they both fouled out. They fouled out with both Cisse and Danger fouled out like a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the game. So being able to play through that against a Michigan State team, very, very impressive by the Tigers. Yes.
Kansas didn't lose. Duke lost. You
That's
said
what
Kansas lost. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Just getting that correction out there.
Thank you.
No problem.
Kansas won 75-72 in spite of losing Hunter Dickinson in that game. Hunter Dickinson still at it. Tried to beat Duke with one of their classic plays. Kick him in the head.
He's my age. How is Hunter Dickinson still around?
This play was everywhere last night.
Like, that's what you get. That's what you get. You can't undercut a dude.
You also can't kick him in the head.
No, you can't, but like...
Could have gone around a little bit.
I understand that reaction. If I'm jumping and you undercut me, yeah, I'm probably gonna retaliate a little bit.
Hunter Dickinson is 24.
Hunter Dickinson, good Lord.
24. He's been doing this far too long. And then speaking of names everybody knows in the sport, God, we are really a Cooper Flagg society at the moment.
Yeah.
That dunk from Cooper Flagg, forget about anything else that happened within that game. All people wanted to do was talk about Cooper Flagg down the lane. Whew, poster.
We know why.
Plant the flag.
We know why.
Fail for Flagg.
Is he white?
Sure is.
Does he play at Duke?
He sure does.
And we care about him.
Oh, what a combo.
We care about him.
We're so back, baby. Duke basketball, just as it was always supposed to be.
Thirst for Christian Laettner coming back.
But they lost.
It's fine. They look good.
Even though I tried to give them a win.
Yeah.
75-72.
Cooper Flagg is on the team.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Grizzlies play tonight against the Pistons. We'll talk a little bit about John Morant's absence from tonight's matchup, what that could mean. Plus, the college football rankings came out last night, and I feel capital V vindicated. I would like to take a small victory lap for all the haters and the losers out there. We'll get into it when we come back.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel. Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I can't tell you how many people texted me and thought it was the funniest thing ever that you were sitting on the front row in your jersey.
Yo, no.
You were wearing a Tony Allen jersey on the front row. They're like, yo, tell him to check in.
That joke was smeedy. I told Tia, I saw Tia, I said,
Yo,
man,
I
you
did
should
have a hoodie on, though. I mean, a sweater on.
I told Tia, you should have sized up on that joint, man.
Yo, shout out to Robin Hood, man.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
D'Anthony Melton took my boys, my little guys, to the ice cream stand. He was like, I'm going to get ice cream. You want to go with? So he took my little guys to the ice cream stand. So, guess who their favorite player is now? John Morant. But outside of that, D'Anthony Melton's pretty high up on the list. How about this? We got youth small D'Anthony Melton jerseys at our house right now. Love D'Anthony Melton. That was a fun night.
It was a fun night, man.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges, and you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. It is a Memphis Grizzlies game day. Yes, CJ.
Does Captain Hook still kick it at Disney World?
I would hope so.
I've never seen him.
He used to.
I've never gone when the villains are out.
The villains are so cool. Captain Hook and Maleficent, top tier Disney character villains.
I just want to get his autograph. I'm assuming he just does something with the hook.
Is the hook always on the right hand? Does he have to be a lefty? Does the person who plays Captain Hook have to be left-handed?
I don't know. That
either.
feels discriminatory.
It does.
Also, we don't make enough left-handed people.
My husband's one. My mom's another.
All right.
I got two in my life.
You got two mutants in your life then.
Mutants.
Kyra is one.
We're surrounded by lefties.
I'm surrounded by lefties.
As the furthest right
As
person
the most right person on this show, I couldn't be happier.
I'm so sorry.
I thought it was like 5% of the population was left-handed, but I'm sitting here amongst all the left-handed people.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay.
It's tough out here.
All right.
It's going to be tough for the Grizzlies tonight. Or will it against the Detroit Pistons, as the Grizzlies will be without Ja Morant. Womp, womp. No Ja, he's out with a left knee contusion. We saw him bump knees during that game against the Trailblazers on Monday, and he was clearly in some pain. He came back into that game. Afterwards, he downplayed it, said it was just a stinger. I would assume, you don't always want to assume, that this is precautionary, and with another game Friday, a big NBA Cup game, I don't think the Grizzlies are officially out of the NBA Cup, but 0-2 in NBA Cup play. Would be nice to get one on the home court against the Pelicans.
Well, not
An
yeah, you can get an at-large
NBA
spot.
Cup bid?
Yeah, you can get an at-large, can't you? You take the top three in each group in each conference, and then the next
point differential one.
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
So go out, beat the Pelicans by 50.
There you go.
So they got to save Ja.
Yeah.
To beat the Pelicans by 50.
Do we get stingers in the knee?
I don't know.
I've only ever had them like in the
I've had a
upper
stinger
body.
in the quad.
Okay, so then yes, I didn't know we could get stingers in the lower body.
You can get it in the lower body.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that you could get it on like the knee feels bonier.
Yeah, that's what causes the stinger.
Yeah.
Is
anyway,
the hitting
whatever
of
it
a bone.
is,
Yeah.
he's out, which is such a bummer just from the standpoint of feeling. We talked yesterday, the difference of energy. Like please, everybody come out. Team is riding a 3-game winning streak right now. We're going streaking. Opportunity for a 4th straight against a Pistons team that looks likely to be without Cade Cunningham still, and their offense, understandably, has been putrid with Cade Cunningham not out there running the show. They avoided a 4-game losing streak with that Jaden Ivey buzzer beater earlier in the week to lift the Pistons over the Raptors. So they both last played on Monday. But again, it's a beatable under 500 team for the Grizzlies. And it will, assumingly, put Scottie Pippen Jr. back in the starting lineup. So this will be interesting from a standpoint of looking at players having to shift in and out of big roles. For Scottie to go from his 30-point, 11-assist performance in Chicago over the weekend, then only played, I think, 14 minutes against the Trailblazers, now going back into the starting role, seeing how that plays out for him, for everybody else in the secondary ball handler roles. You know how Marcus Smart added back into that mix too. We saw him come off the bench on Monday night. So I'm intrigued, rotation-wise, how this looks as the team gets healthier, but you do again remove Ja. And let's just be honest, it stinks. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Monday was awesome. We're sitting in this studio with 3 people who attended the game, and they're like, how fun was that? The energy, the vibes in that building, seeing the Ja dunk in person, seeing the behind-the-back passes, the no-look passes, the defying gravity moves left and right, and to take that out is a bummer, but still a good opportunity for this team.
Yeah, and we'll put Ja over to the side. One of the most, you said yesterday, the most exciting player to watch in the NBA right now. Put him to the side. There's still a whole bunch of exciting things happening with this Grizzlies team. The way that Jaren has been playing, Jaren is playing like an all-star, like an all-NBA type of guy. When you think about what he's doing, attacking the rim, shooting the ball from 3, and then you couple that with what he is defensively right now, and he's rebounding also. Much of the knock from Grizzlies fans and the most complaints from Grizzlies fans about Jaren is, when is he going to rebound? He's rebounding right now.
And he's not fouling.
And
he has the lowest foul rate and the highest usage.
The second one is he fouls too much. And he's not doing either of those things. So you've got him doing really cool things on the court. And for me, personally, I love J Huff. Oh, my gosh. I love Huff so much. I love every time Huff gets into the game. Sometimes, admittedly, I'm not paying the most attention in arena or at home on the couch. But when I look up and I see Huff on the court, it's like, uh-oh, everybody get away from me. Shut up. Stop talking. Huff is in the game. He's going to do some fun stuff. He is protecting the rim at a high level, blocking shots. What does Franica call him? The Huff Snuff.
Huff Snuff.
And then he's reverse
the
jamming.
The Huff Snuff has become a part of my daily vernacular. I say it all the time. I hate that I say it all the time.
Then he's jamming it reverse style with a Huff Stuff.
Hitting threes.
Like that's exciting for me. And then you'll get more excitement from some of these other players. I got friends of mine, people who I love and respect dearly. They love watching LaRavia play right now. They love the effort LaRavia is playing.
Growing.
Yeah, he reminds them of Mr. Do Something D'Anthony Melton, right? Where he just comes on the court, he impacts the game in a variety of different ways. They love watching him. I got another friend, loves him some Scottie Pippen Jr. Loves the way that he handles the ball, love the way that he facilitates the offense, loves the passes that he's able to make, right? So, yes, it is. You're taking one of, if not the most exciting player in basketball right now out of the lineup. This is still a really exciting team to sit down and watch top to bottom. This is where I think depth is not, this is where we all know depth is beneficial, right? In these types of moments when you're dealing with injuries, having that next man up mentality come in and play at a really, really high level. That is when depth matters. Now, I still think you need to shorten this rotation and when everybody's healthy, but everybody's not healthy, you got to go to your depth. And this is what's been most rewarding about watching this Grizzlies team is from Santi Aldama to Jaren, from Ja to Scottie Pippen Jr., from Dez to
Could
Vince.
be a big Dez game.
It could be.
He's due. Feels due for a big Desmond Bain. You want to know who looked really good the other night offensively? Brandon Clark. He's looked better and better every game.
Since they moved him into the starting lineup, I think.
A part of that, I also think, I'm not a professional athlete. I just also tore my Achilles around the same time as Brandon Clark. And I have recognized in the last couple of, honestly, maybe the last month, I finally am not thinking about my Achilles anymore. And I was like a month and a half ahead of Brandon Clark. And again, I'm not trying to conflate the two, totally different scenarios. But that injury does do some wacky things with your mind and just trusting your body to be back to what it was before. Something as simple as I really overthink stepping down curbs And now I'm just flying off curbs. You can't be stopped. And I thought Brandon Clark's bounce absolutely looked the best that we have seen it. And if you can get back to even like 90% of what that was before, I think that's very, very encouraging. So we will see Grizzlies Pistons tonight at FedEx Forum. We do have to talk about the college football playoff rankings. I'm saying goodbye. Chris has to go to work, so he's taking his parents.
Can we get him on camera,
can we get him
Kyra?
on camera?
Get him on camera. Then wave to the camera, y'all. There they go.
Oh.
There it is. All right, Chris, get out the way. We see you enough. Let's see your lovely mother and stepfather. Chris!
He asked if he could come on.
Come on and do what?
He was like, do you need me to talk about anything? I'm like, what? What are you going to talk about?
How bad the 49ers are?
Right, how bad the
How far Syracuse men's basketball has fallen?
How the Warriors lost to the Nets at home?
How the Warriors lost to the... What type of bum franchise loses to the Nets, Christopher?
Yeah, couldn't be us. Could not be us.
Bye, party people.
Shout out to the party people. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you all later. Down to business.
Let's go.
College football playoff rankings.
Okay.
Top 4 stay the same. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State. You have Notre Dame moved up 1 spot. Miami up 2 spots. Georgia up 3 spots. Tennessee up 3 spots. SMU up 4. And then Indiana, following their loss to Ohio State, down 5. Boise State up a spot. Clemson up 5 spots. And then Alabama down 6 and Ole Miss down 5. So the SEC goes from having 5 teams in the potential projected college football playoff field to 3. They are treating it like a funeral. However, what really stands out to me with these current rankings is the potential setup of a Georgia-Tennessee first-round matchup. Oh, it would be a good time. And then the winner would get Oregon, which feels a little less fun for the SEC. But enough of the SEC, because everybody wants to talk about the SEC. I want to talk to the haters and the losers who sent me legit hate mail over the last 48 hours.
Yeah, because you said something ridiculous.
I don't think it's as ridiculous.
Let me be clear. I don't support sending hate mail. Don't do that.
It is true. So
it's true, but it's ridiculous.
I'm at the point where, thankfully, this didn't happen like 2 or 3 years ago where I had a lot thinner skin. But the number of times I was called the C word in the last 48 hours or dumb bitch over and over again.
That's not cool.
And people sending me messages. I got to the point where I was just deleting messages without reading them from strangers. And I really like to interact with fans and people on social media, and I just like to meet people and talk to them. And I was just like, delete, 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 because this is absurd. Never went back to the comment section. College football fans, I love you. I am one of you. Some of you are effing psychotic and die. So many people told me to die because I had the audacity to suggest that the Big 12 could be left out of the college football playoff. And I feel vindicated because the college football playoff rankings that came out last night certainly provide a path towards that happening. I am not saying it is going to happen. I am saying it could happen because right now, the committee is not viewing the Big 12 as significantly greater than Tulane. The most interesting part of those rankings last night was Tulane being right behind Arizona State and right in front of Iowa State. And there is a whole lot of chaos that can happen. The Big 12 has been the most chaotic conference this season. And so not only do you have rivalry week upcoming, but then you have a potential Big 12 championship. And yes, if all those teams win who are currently tied for first in the Big 12, it will be Arizona State, Iowa State. And even if Iowa State were to beat Arizona State, who's ahead of them in the rankings, I think Iowa State would jump Tulane because Tulane gets Memphis and then Tulane gets Army. And Army, after losing to Notre Dame, it doesn't set up the same thrill because Army's out of the top 25. But if one of those other teams, if BYU sneaks its way back into the Big 12 championship game and you have a 3-loss BYU team winning the Big 12, there is a world where if Tulane goes out, and I don't want it to happen for Memphis' sake, but if Tulane goes out and beats Memphis by 15 to 20 points on Thanksgiving Day and then takes absolute handle of Army in the conference championship game, you could make an argument that they are the 5th conference champion, because that's how this works. It is not my fault that the College Football Playoff Committee set it up this way. It is the 5 highest ranked conference champions. And so if Tulane is ranked ahead of the Big 12 champion, and right now the way it is set up, there is a hypothetical path towards that happening, then you could see them taking the spot. Now that also falls on Boise State winning this weekend, winning the Mountain West Championship. But I did think them moving Boise State, I thought Boise State was cemented into their spot from before. Them moving up to 11 gives them a little wiggle room too. Not to lose, but just from a standpoint of being highest ranked conference champion. It can happen. Will it? Probably not. The Big 12 will probably get a team in, and Arizona State has been playing phenomenally, and Kenny Dillingham is one of the best stories in the sport this year. But I don't think I should be told to die because I suggested that they leave the Big 12 out.
You said, you keep saying could happen, right? The Big 12 could be left out, and I feel like you're just trying to be factually correct, which is something that we should probably be doing, but that's not how we talk about sports. We talk about sports from a place of passion. We talk about sports from a place of intensity. We talk about sports from a place of like energy. And so I used to disagree with what you were saying, but after hearing that they were calling you the C word and the B word, I'm all on. The Big 12 sucks. Clip it. Clip it. You suck, Big 12. You're worse than Tulane. You don't get to go. Tulane wins out. If the Big 12 champ is anybody other than Arizona State, sorry, Big 12 champ gets left out. Clip that shit. At me, bro. I want the smoke. Send it my way. Let's get this shit popping, Big 12.
I don't want to be in a war
with them? I do.
I don't want to be in a war with the Big 12.
Stop talking. Shut up. Listen,
I got a lot of those too.
Yeah, but otherwise they're gonna add you instead of adding me. Add con radicalness. I want the heat. You guys suck. You are pitiful. Y'all are awful. You got the leftover. Y'all got the bad teams from the Big 12, and the bad teams in the Big 12 where everybody not named Oklahoma and Texas, and then you got the Pac-12 leftovers. You didn't get a good Pac-12 team. Your conference is barely a power conference, if that. You guys don't deserve to be a power conference. It is the Big Ten. It is the SEC, and at times it's the ACC, and then you guys are the next best group of non-power conferences. You don't have a birthright to the college football playoffs. So if anybody else in that conference other than Arizona State wins this damn Big 12 championship and Tulane wins out, Tulane should go. Big 12 champ be left out. At me. I want it. I'm ready for it. Send that shit my way. Let's get this popping. Good grief. Why are people so...
Good grief.
But
I do want to be factual because I realized I said a 3-loss BYU team. I meant a 3-loss Colorado team.
Okay.
But even a 2-loss BYU team.
Unfortunate.
Again, I'm very much on board. Sun Devil fans, don't storm my field. If Arizona State wins out, they are going to be in the college football playoff as the Big 12 conference champion, and they will be rightfully ranked ahead of Tulane in that scenario because they have a common opponent. They have a common opponent in Kansas State, even though one of the worst calls of the season, I watched that game live. The call at the end of the Tulane-Kansas State game will go down as one of the worst officiating moments of the college football season, and perhaps the College Football Playoff Committee has looked at that. Now, they still lost to Oklahoma, so you can't do that.
That's bad.
Alabama hung 3 points on. Everyone who keeps wanting to say that Alabama still has a chance to sneak their way into the college football playoff, I get it, and it creates great fodder for these SEC teams. I'm all in on if South Carolina beats Clemson this weekend. That's one of my games that I'm most looking forward to watching. I like South Carolina. Of that group of Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina, South Carolina doesn't have a bad loss.
South Carolina and Alabama, did they play? I don't have South Carolina's schedule.
Yes, that is their only loss.
That's South Carolina's only loss?
No. I'm sorry. Their bad loss.
Okay.
Bad loss, if we're calling it Alabama. Because they lost to LSU 36-33.
Alabama, and who was the other
and Ole Miss 27-23. Okay. So the problem is the common opponent.
Yeah.
Because they lost to both of those.
So, but they hadn't played Alabama.
Yeah, they lost to Alabama.
Okay, so they lost to Alabama.
Yes.
They lost to Ole Miss.
Yes.
They lost to LSU.
Correct.
Okay, so I can't make the argument that South Carolina should get in over Alabama.
But if they beat Clemson, which now is a 12th ranked Clemson team, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the end of season adjustment, if there is an end of season adjustment, they do that in college basketball. Like there is with the playoff committee in college basketball, there's a conversation of like last 10 games where how are you playing right now? I don't know how that factors in. We'll see. It's going to be chaotic. But now I'm all in. I want Tulane to win out. I would love for Memphis, and I don't want to say that because a great Thanksgiving would be the Memphis Tigers upsetting. This is Memphis's Super Bowl, so go out there and take care of business. But Boise State winning out, and then the Big 12 just being the utmost chaos that you could ask for, with all of those teams losing random games, with Arizona State losing to Arizona this weekend.
From now on, when I say power conference,
You're not including Big 12?
I'm not including Big 12.
Oh, it's okay.
It's not.
It's
No, I don't
okay.
like that shit.
It doesn't bother me.
It bothers me. Makes me.
It made me giggle.
It bothers my father also.
You
He's
wanna
trying
know
to be
how-
your anger translator.
You know you're getting some bad stuff.
At us in one of these.
This was the last thing that I did open, and it was some nice young woman who goes, I saw your segment about keeping the Big 12 out because they killed themselves, and I absolutely agree. I've expressed this, and I too have gotten hated on, and I just want you to know I stand with you in your takes that will get you yelled at by stupid men who don't understand the new playoff system. I was like, sister, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Anywho, we got to get to DeAngelo Williams because he's going to join us after a quick break. We'll talk to him about the Memphis Tulane game upcoming. Who knows if we'll actually talk to him about the Memphis Tulane game, because he will talk to us about whatever he wants. It is a Thanksgiving week edition. Can't wait to find out what DeAngelo wants to chat about when we come back.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's gonna be crazy. The fans are gonna be loud. We need just energy.
We're gonna need, the forum rocking. We're gonna need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
D'Anthony Melton took my little guys, to the ice cream stand. He was like, I'm going to get ice cream. You want to go with? So he took my little guys to the ice cream stand. So, guess who their favorite player is now? John Morant. But outside of that, D'Anthony Melton's pretty high up on the list. How about this? We got youth small D'Anthony Melton jerseys at our house right now. Love D'Anthony Melton. That was a fun night.
It was a fun night, man.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
It's the top 5 worst teams in the NFL. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
I got the Saints number 1. Let's put the Aints up there. They're terrible.
I'll take the Titans as my worst team in the NFL. If they played Will Levis, they're for sure the worst team. Maybe in NFL history. Might be worse than the 0-16 Lions if they play Will Levis.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
It is Wednesday. That means it is time to catch up with DeAngelo Williams. And DeAngelo, I haven't had a chance in a while to ask about your dog walks with the Memphis Tigers. And they have a big walk around the block coming up on Thanksgiving. They're going to Tulane.
Okay, so I have to level with you.
Okay.
Jessica, things.
Not removed media or disturb power until update is complete.
DeAngelo, you got one of them robots?
No.
D, you got one of them. You got one of them Elon Musk robots?
Of course, DeAngelo has a robot.
No, I do not.
DeAngelo, show us your robot, man.
I don't have a robot, bro. Okay, dog walks.
Dog walks.
Let me tell you. So
we're doing dog walks, and this man got a robot. Okay.
So my dog walks hadn't been all rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna level with you guys. Before I even moved into this neighborhood, I contacted the the HOA, and I said, hey, I'm bringing a vicious dog into the neighborhood. Beware. And they sent it out. They sent it out to everybody in the neighborhood, and they let everybody know. The first couple of weeks, they were kind of peeking through their windows. Everybody was kind of scared because they had heard all the news that it was a mean dog in the neighborhood. They saw me walking them. They would jump on the other side of the curb. And it was one day, it was a person that decided not to jump on the other side of the curb, just to walk right down the street and stare him head on and walk right past him.
Okay.
And they was like, this dog isn't so vicious at all. So now I'm trying to get my dog now everybody in the neighborhood like, hey, that whole vicious dog you told us that was in the neighborhood that you was bringing ain't so vicious, because he done been walked by twice and ain't bit nobody.
By a poodle one of those times. It was a North Texas poodle that walked by and nipped it on the tail, and it just yelped.
I don't like your ad-libbing, CJ. I don't like you. I don't like that.
I thought we were talking about walking dogs. I apologize. Go ahead.
You're calling North Texas a poodle?
A coked out chihuahua. It's either a poodle or a coked out chihuahua.
Nothing scarier than a coked out chihuahua.
DeAngelo, show us the damn robot. Show us the robot,
I
D.
have a robot. Stop it. Let me finish this, okay? So I've been walked by twice. Maybe a poodle, not a poodle. It's up for discussion on how many. So now, when I walk through the neighborhood now, everybody is complaining about my dog being too nice. You get on these blogs, you get on these websites, and it's crazy because, a year or so ago, or even a couple years ago, and I hate to keep bringing up the past because, this is not the same dog year in and year out. So the treatment of said dog should be different year in and year out. So I'm not trying to make that an excuse. But I remember days where we would get walked past all the time. Wasn't even we were the Chihuahua. And so now being that vicious dog now, in the neighborhood, it's crazy because when we don't live up to our reputation, people are pissed and get mad about it. And I don't understand. It's crazy.
This is like one of those long reading comprehension segments on the ACT where it's like just a really long extended metaphor, and then it's the multiple choice of what does the metaphor represent in this? And dogs, neighborhoods, chihuahuas, what?
Yes.
It's the Memphis Tigers. And so I'm interpreting you to say that the 9-2 Memphis Tigers are not being viewed as vicious enough, i.e., competitive enough, successful enough, a big enough dog in the conference because of their losses to UTSA and Navy, which put them in this position. Right. And now they are going to face a Tulane team. Have we gotten to that point in the metaphor? No, we're just on the setup portion.
Yeah, we ain't even got there yet.
But you're saying because once upon a time, they weren't even like in the conversation of scary dog territory, which you say coked out Chihuahua, CJ. I think a coked out Chihuahua is like scarier than a Great Dane. So I'm going to put them in just cutesy golden retriever. Like no one's ever been scared of a golden retriever. They're so dopey in the best of ways.
Which program are we talking about?
Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis isn't the coked out Chihuahua. Memphis is supposed to be a Rottweiler. Memphis is supposed to be a Doberman.
Memphis
is supposed to be a pit bull.
Yeah, but
the coked out
DeAngelo
Chihuahua
was saying that once upon a time.
Yeah, once upon a time they were
like
a golden retriever.
Yeah.
Right. Once upon a time they were something that everybody would see and nobody's crossing the street. They're rubbing the ears and stuff.
Right.
I'm saying the team they lost to in North Texas is a coked out Chihuahua.
They didn't lose to North
Who'd
Texas.
They
lost to UTSA. Get your Texas schools right.
I'm sorry. Another one of those pitiful ass schools in Texas.
Lose to North Texas.
Okay.
That's where I got so confused. I thought you were like saying they had like a scare with this is the problem. This
is the crazy. This is why this whole analogy is insane to me, because I had a neighbor pick up the phone and call me and tell me to say, hey, bring your dog to Louisiana on Thanksgiving because I don't think your dog got what it takes to even be called a dog. Now, hold up. Wow. So this is what I think is crazy. Like, we're not talking about this team being good, great, or going on to the next level. We're questioning the team's passion, heart, and all that going into this last walk of the year. And as if it means nothing to us because the conference championship and all the things that they thought this dog should do coming into the neighborhood before I got here, didn't do. So now they're like, oh, there's nothing else to play for.
I completely disagree. I completely disagree. This walk, you're putting the dog on the plane to go to New Orleans, and this dog is a special dog. It has the little vest so it can sit in the seat next to you on the plane instead of being put in the cage underneath, because I really hate the idea of the doggies in the cages with all the luggage. That sounds scary. But this dog's sitting on a seat. You got a seat for your dog. Goes to New Orleans, high priority, because this is your dog's Super Bowl. This is the Puppy Bowl for Memphis, the dog, because you can ruin Tulane's season. Like, if all else fails, play for hate. Like, there is, sure, playing for a championship, ultimate goal. But playing for hate is right up there. Be a hater, be petty, ruin somebody else's season. My USC Trojans play Notre Dame this weekend. That's my Super Bowl. I want USC to knock Notre Dame right out of that playoff. USC's bowl eligible, whatever. This season has absolutely stunk. I hate watching that team, but I will be seated for USC Notre Dame because they have a chance to make another fan base absolutely miserable, on the cusp of doing something that all the teams want to do at the start of the year, which is make the college football playoff. And Tulane, while having a difficult path to that college football playoff, as we laid out in the last segment, still has a chance. But if Memphis beats Tulane, that chance is evaporated. Poof, be gone. So Memphis does have something legitimate to play for. You just have to convince them that that matters as much as the rest of it.
I would add to being a spoiler, being a hater. Show us the robot or turn it off, DeAngelo.
Yeah. I don't have a
Where's
robot,
the voice coming from?
I do not have
Where's the voice coming from?
The voice is coming from inside the house. We hear it.
What are you talking? Can we finish this discussion?
Can you tell us what it is?
Guys.
We just want to know what the rich people are buying these days.
No, there's who? First of all, it's Thanksgiving, so I have a lot of family over, okay? There's a lot of kids,
so you got rich ass family also.
Yeah,
okay. So what are they buying, DeAngelo?
Your family with robots? Because that was not the voice of a family member.
One family member is like, hey, we got to do some upgrades on you. Upgrade. We got some updates to do.
Also, that's a nice piano behind you,
DeAngelo. We've seen him on that piano before, though. It plays by itself.
That's what's talking is the piano.
Shut up.
It's plugged up.
It's the piano is the robot?
The piano is the robot. The robot is inside the piano.
Nobody in this damn house know how to play the piano, bro. We're not the traditional white family
like
where
the
everybody got to
Peabody
learn
Hotel.
an instrument. We just got it in here for it to look good.
Okay.
It plays
What
itself.
instrument do you know how to play, Jessica?
Piano.
See?
18 or 15 years of piano.
That's the only thing that I'm convinced that white people do is that everybody know how to play.
You don't know how to play an
That's not
instrument,
true. Only some.
Not at all.
Oh,
not at all.
That's
Don't
a
have
damn
an
shame.
interest in it or nothing. Like I like to feel like everybody that's white has been predisposed to band.
Like they just
I
come
mean,
out
we
of the
did
womb.
have, like in 5th grade in
flute?
elementary school, like there was a band.
Mm.
Like our normal electives were PE, art,
DJ
music,
said,
and computers. And then in 5th grade, you got to add on choir and band.
Gotcha.
And everybody had to pick an instrument. Like you had to play an instrument for, like I played the sax for 6 months. It was a beautiful 6 months.
Turn up. I bet your parents were thrilled about that.
It's a long story. I got a hand-me-down sax from my cousin, but we had to refurbish it because it hadn't been played in like forever. So they spent like a couple $100 and I was committed. I was like, I'm gonna be a sax player. I want to give up piano. I want to commit to the sax.
Lisa Simpson.
I played the dreidel song at the Whack Holiday Christmas Party on the sax.
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Yes,
I made it out of clay.
because there was one Jewish person in the office, and I wanted to make sure she felt included because I always played Christmas carols on the piano. So I chose the sax to play the dreidel song on.
What type of sultry ass dreidel song were you going for?
It sounded like the recorder. It was not good. And then I never played the sax again. I never, like, the class ended. It was like a half a semester. Played in one recital. Never picked up the sax again. That sax gathered dust.
What's the name of my man with the hair who plays the sax?
Kenny G.
Kenny G. Jessica
Jesse
G
B.
over here.
Jesse B on the sax.
Jessica B.
But I did play piano for a long time, DeAngelo.
Did you? But that's my only like thing that I feel like everybody, because all my white friends, like, we randomly will be somewhere and they'll grab an instrument and pick it up, and I'm like, oh shit, I forget you white sometimes. So, like,
yeah.
What if that's a new litmus test for white people
But
in
it's
Donald Trump
not.
America?
It's not, because a lot of people don't play the piano. There is
it's not
large
a piano. I'm talking
number.
about play an instrument.
But not all play
So
an
D'Angelo,
instrument.
using that, would I be considered a white because I can play an instrument?
Yes.
I would.
Not only are you the furthest right person on the show, you
what
are the most white
I'm
person
a
on the
white?
show.
Now, I remember this as like a American Dad episode. Stewie, why are you saying it like that? You remember that episode?
I do.
So that means you went to a white school.
But I didn't learn it at school. I learned it on the streets. Yeah,
What'd you play?
I played
What did you play?
bongos.
Hell yeah.
I played
Oh, I wanted to be a
bongos.
drummer so bad.
Specifically lady bongos, if you know what I'm talking
Get
about.
out of here. D'Angelo. I don't even know how to continue with that.
Oh, that made me happy. The
Yeah.
Tigers, right now, only playing spoiler, getting 10 wins and a win over Tulane. You in the year ranked. How many times?
And you're
have
a
the
14-point dog.
How many times have the Memphis Tigers had a 10-win season and ended the year ranked? Not many. Not many. That means you get the 10 wins against Tulane. That means you could potentially be going for 11 in a bowl game. Like that stuff matters.
So here's the only problem with that, CJ, and I kind of understand what the fans that are pissed off are saying. Like, why do we always have to be the team that have to look back at our history and compare our history to where we are right now as an excuse of why we doing bad? Gone
But
are those days.
they're not doing bad. They're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
you're
that's
not
my
understand-
point. Oh, go
You're
ahead.
not
Go ahead. You got it.
This is the mindset that we have as Tiger fans, and there's no problem having that. There's an Alabama fan right now that pissed off the way that their season is going, and he's like, it just went to hell. Bro, I don't know if y'all looked over there at Alabama. They're top 15. They've lost like a couple, but that's not what they're used to doing. If you look back at their history, again, they're comparing their history to where they are right now, and legitimate, they got a great. But at the same time, for like you said, that's good. It's levels. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that we should be at a level to where we could be pissed off about an 8-2 or 9-2 season or a 10-2 season, depending on where that. If we said going into this is playoffs or bust.
You can't be, right? Because to me, because what you're talking about with Alabama is a program that over the past decade has won how many national championships? What you're talking about in Alabama is a program that it's at least once in every decade ends up being a top 5 team, at least once, where the Memphis Tigers football program has been nowhere near the elites in the sport. So getting a 10-win season for this Memphis program, while 10 wins to me is great for any program, but while a 10-win season for an Alabama or Ohio State or Oregon or a Texas might not be enough there, 10 wins here should absolutely be enough and be something that you strive for year in, year out. And then once you hit that consistently, because it's levels to this. You brought up levels. It's levels to this. It's steps you got to take. Once you're a consistent 10-win team, all right, let's take the next step, CFP. And then once you get consistently into the CFP, next step, let's try for a championship. That's the way this thing works.
There's no way.
Michigan is a prime example of this, right? Michigan can't beat Ohio State. You can't win the Big Ten if you can't beat Ohio State. Hey, beat Ohio State. They beat Ohio State. They win the Big Ten. They're in the college football playoff. They get ran out the building by Georgia, right? Okay, fine. Let's beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten. That is now the standard. Now we got to get a win in the CFP. They get back to the CFP the following year, get the hell beat out of them by TCU. The third year, beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten, get 1 win in the CFP. They did that, plus they got another win to win the championship, right? Most of the time, there is a building sort of period. And what helps Michigan, what helps Georgia is it's not going to take them as long because they got more money and more resources coming in than what a program like Memphis has. It's going to take Memphis a little bit longer to establish themselves.
I'm gonna be honest with you, CJ, and since we're being honest with each other, I like that. I don't think that Memphis is a Michigan or Ohio State from namesake, and it won't ever be there from a namesake. So because of that, it'll always be the next step for a head coach. So it's not like we'll have a coach that'll stay here for 20 or 30 years that'll give us that 10-win streak or 11-win streak or 12-win streak, a season where he's consistently being that. We get the coaches that come in here for what, 5-6 years max, and after 2 or 3 years, we're fighting to keep them. And you see what I'm saying? So Memphis will never be one of those schools where a coach come in and stay there for 10, 15 to 20 years. And if it is, he's not doing well. Because if he's doing well, he's not there that long. So we won't ever be there. So when we say this season's supposed to be the season, hell, it got to be the season. It got to be the season because we don't have the luxury that the Michigans have, the Ohio States have, the Miamis have. And I'm saying that because they have the namesake. They may not have the winning percentage, even the Florida States. Florida State has the same thing. They don't have to have they have to have a winning season, but because they have that namesake, players go there. In Memphis, you have to win football games for people to go there. And that's what the difference is.
The brand recognition, the fan experience, like what stood out to me, and this wasn't a surprise, but it was just like the hammering home of it all, was seeing the 2 field stormings from Oklahoma and Auburn last weekend. And like the camera zoom out and how many people were there. Those were 2 teams that were at 500 on the season. And the number of fans still in that building. And a part of it is because of who they're playing. I get that. But they were home fans. Like the number of fans who ended up on that field at Oklahoma showed me they didn't sell all those tickets to Alabama fans. Those were real ones who still showed up and then are supporting that team. So anyway, it all plays into it. DeAngelo, you get to watch the Tigers on Thanksgiving, though.
You're absolutely right on watching the Tigers on
Thanksgiving. What's the food situation when you watch the Tigers?
I'm watching for 2 reasons. One, I want to see this is going to be my litmus test, and I want all you Tiger fans out there to take heed to this. When we go to number 22 lane, this is a professional NFL stadium. Now, I hadn't seen a lot of Tulane Green
professional
Wave
NFL stadium.
Yes, I'm saying that because we're going to New Orleans. If they're able to fill this stadium up for this game on Thursday, I'm gonna be pissed because are we not playing in Tulane?
Yeah, they play at Yeoman Stadium, Benson Field.
No, so are they not playing in the Superdome?
They don't play the Dome.
They're not playing in the Dome anymore?
Nah. They built an on-campus stadium maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Longer than that, like 7 years ago. Yeah. It's a great stadium. I love their setup. Went to a game there. It's really nice. But yeah. So they probably will fill their stadium up.
Tickets are as low as $2 on Vivid Seats if you want tickets.
That's insane to me. Number 20 team in the country fighting for a college 17 fighting for a college playoff spot. This is what blows my mind. Like, how long do you have to continue this in order for your stadium to be packed and have the fan support that all these other big schools have? What you got, CJ?
I can get tickets on the 50. $17.
Cool.
No way, bro.
Cool.
I think so. I'm trying. Let me get closer to the
number 17 team in the country. You telling me right now, Jessica, only 16 teams are supposedly better than me, and I could get seats on the 50-yard line for $17?
Now you'll be in row R.
Oh, that's crazy.
But yeah.
I can't find current. Somebody tweeted a little bit ago, like weeks ago, AAC attendance by team. And I think Tulane is towards the top, if not the top in the conference. But I don't want to say that definitively.
I'm very disappointed in that. I'm very disappointed.
So
I
we
just
shall
don't
see.
understand. Like, how do you build the fandom? Because I was looking at Boise State, like their games.
Oh, they've got the fandom. They've got the fandom.
Yeah, they have the fandom now, but like looking at the games last year before they had the Heisman Trophy candidate, they have
They've always Boise State has held on to that fandom. They had a down year last year, but yes, ever since Boise started being consistently relevant as like, oh, this is a non-power team that people should pay attention to. They play on a blue field, and then they go to the Fiesta Bowl in 2007. They go back to the Fiesta Bowl in 2010. Like that cemented their fandom in Boise. Like those games sell well. That is a legitimate college football experience if you go to a game at Boise State. Different than if you go to a game here, unfortunately. Happy Thanksgiving, DeAngelo.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Thanksgiving situation, the food, but number one on my list is greens. Gotta be greens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you have some good greens, and I hope you don't talk politics at the dinner table.
Oh, that's first thing out of the gate.
I hope you do.
Who did you vote for?
That makes good conversation.
Put it on your forehead.
Who did you vote for? That's out of the gate.
Just if you see somebody drinking unpasteurized milk, I'm
Then
pretty
you
sure
know.
I know who they voted for.
Then you know.
They'll also be sick from E. coli.
Oh, tough.
Or not E. coli, bird flu. That's the thing going around in that milk. Yeah.
There's only one drink I judge people on. If you come to my house with eggnog, you are no longer my friend. We cannot be friends. Because first of all, you're way too old to be my friend. Because nobody that's young drink eggnog.
I agree. We had this conversation yesterday. If you serve me eggnog at Thanksgiving, I will throw up. So thanks. It's gross.
Get you.
It's gross.
Proud of you.
Okay. See you next week.
All right.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
One, I cannot believe you said that you play an instrument and it was the bongos and it was the lady bongos. You are a menace to society.
What do you mean?
And two, the Tulane Stadium is awesome.
Is it?
Like that is my vision for the perfect smaller program on campus fan experience for football. Tulane has a great one. The other team that has a great one, Tulsa.
Huh.
Similar situation, on campus, walkable, within like a little campus community. It just makes a massive difference. It was cool.
You never heard Jason Derulo compare women to instruments?
Which Jason Derulo classic hit is that?
It might be instruments. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll figure it out.
Is that Symphony?
Symphony.
Is that Symphony?
It's Symphony.
So what does he say?
He's just going around.
We'll look it up during the break.
Yeah.
We'll also have our story time when we come back. The people have voted.
Well, keep voting.
Oh, keep voting. It's close. 36% of the vote has woke-ass Santa ruins Christmas, and 34% of the vote, coworkers angry I hit the lotto and quit. Get your votes in. We'll do story time. We'll say some Jason Derulo lyrics, and we'll talk about Drake and Kendrick Lamar, because Drake made some interesting choices this week. We'll get into all that when we come back.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I can't tell you how many people texted me and thought it was the funniest thing ever that you were sitting on the front row in your jersey.
Yo, no.
You were wearing a Tony Allen jersey on the front row. They're like, yo, tell him to check in.
That joke was smeedy. I told Tia, I said,
Yo,
man,
I
you
did
should
have a hoodie on, though. I mean, a sweater on.
I told Tia, you should have sized up on that joint, man.
Yo, shout out to Robin Hood, man.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
D'Anthony Melton took my little guys, to the ice cream stand. He was like, I'm going to get ice cream. You want to go with? So he took my little guys to the ice cream stand. So, guess who their favorite player is now? John Morant. But outside of that, D'Anthony Melton's pretty high up on the list. How about this? We got used small D'Anthony Melton jerseys at our house right now. Love D'Anthony Melton. That was a fun night.
It was a fun night, man.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Before we get to story time, we do need to revisit 2013. Jason Derulo, perhaps at his peak. I think Jason Derulo performed at USC in 2012 when I was there. So we're in peak Jason Derulo.
We talked with Gary on Monday. It was a great conversation about musicians and stardom. Jason Derulo had this society in the palm of his hands for like 2.5, 3.5 years. He was all anybody wanted to play.
He did. And one of his songs.
Symphony banger.
It's called Trumpets.
Trumpets.
Get it right.
Trumpets.
But it does include symphony. I'm going to read these lyrics.
Do it. Let's go.
I think we should do dramatic readings. Add this to a segment idea page that we've been keeping for a while.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to read it kind of casually because this is all like bang bang for the beauty of symphony. Trumpets. Now you have me calling it symphony.
No, that won't work.
It's okay.
Go ahead, read it.
We'll do it a cappella.
Read it.
As he says in the song. Every time that you get undressed, I hear symphonies in my head. I wrote this song just looking at you. Oh, yeah, the drums, they swing low. And the trumpets, they go. And the trumpets, they go. Yeah, the trumpets, they go. Oh, and they go. Is it weird that I hear violins whenever you're gone? Whenever you're gone. Yeah. Is it weird that your ass reminds me of a Kanye West song? Kanye West song. Is it weird that I hear trumpets when you're turning me on? Turning me on. Is it weird that your bra reminds me of a Katy Perry song. Every time that you get undressed, I hear symphonies in my head. The chorus repeats, oh, oh, whoa, yeah, the trumpets, they go, da-da, 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 they go. Damn, is it weird that I hear angels every time that you moan? Is it weird? Is it weird that wait for it, your eyes remind me of a Coldplay song? And then he repeats the, is it weird that your bra reminds me of a Katy Perry song? And he keeps going, and then it goes, ha, a cappella on him. They go, whoa, whoa, oh yeah, oh. Come on, come on, come on. They go, what a song, everybody.
Great reading.
Thank you. I mean, he made it so easy.
Great reading.
I think I'm gonna have you read the story of the day.
Oh, okay.
I got a game to get through tonight, and my voice is croaking.
What are we doing with the story of the day?
Story of the day.
Who won?
Woke Santa.
Woke Santa won. All right. Let me get to it. Let me get it pulled up for you, party people. And we'll do Woke Santa. Woke ass Santa ruins Christmas. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my conservative parents babysit because they told my son Santa Claus is woke? I, 34-year-old female, have always had a strained relationship with my parents. They're very conservative, and I lean more progressive, but we've tried to keep things civil for the sake of family gatherings, and my 6-year-old son, we're calling him Ben. However, this latest incident has completely crossed the line, and now I'm being accused of being too sensitive and anti-family. Last week, my husband, 35-year-old male, and I had a work event, so I asked my parents to babysit Ben. We don't ask them often because they've made questionable comments in the past, but they begged to spend time with their grandson, so I decided to give them another chance.
That's sweet.
That is. Probably shouldn't have, but here we go. When we got home, Ben was upset and wouldn't stop crying. After some coaxing, he told me that my parents had told him Santa Claus isn't real because Santa has gone woke.
Wait, that's how they broke the news that Santa isn't real.
Santa isn't real because Santa is woke. When I asked what they meant, they explained that woke culture has ruined everything, and now Santa is more focused on being politically correct than rewarding good kids. Apparently, they had shown Ben a video on YouTube about cancel culture that claimed Santa was now prioritizing kids who were different over traditional values. What the hell does that even mean? I was livid. Ben is only 6.
6?
He doesn't need to be dragged into their bizarre political commentary.
Forget the political commentary. They ruined Santa at age 6?
Especially about
That's
something
cruel.
as innocent as Santa Claus. I told my parents I had no right to say anything like that to my son and that they clearly can't be trusted to babysit him anymore. They accused me of overreacting, saying it's my fault for sheltering him and that they were just trying to teach him the truth about the world. My mom cried and said I was keeping her from her grandson, while my dad called me a brainwashed liberal.
Oh no.
Who can't handle different opinions. Now my extended family has weighed in. My sister thinks I'm being unfair to our parents, while my brother says I should have cut them off a long time ago. My husband supports me, but thinks maybe we could have had a calmer conversation before banning them from babysitting. So, am I the a-hole for refusing to let them babysit after what they told my son?
No. Again, I don't care about all the ancillary stuff. I had Santa ruined for me relatively early by a neighbor. Like my parents were out of town, a kid who was my age, but she was like very old for her age. And we were in first grade. And my parents were out of town. I was staying across the street, and just out of nowhere, she's like, hey, do you know Santa isn't real? And I was like, what do you mean Santa isn't real? She's like, Santa's not real. My parents told me because they said I could handle the truth. And then those parents had to talk to me because I was crying because my parents were out of town. And those parents had to tell my parents that their daughter messed up Christmas for me. And do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like being the young person in your class who's the only one who knows that Santa isn't real? Because then all your friends are like, Santa was on my roof last night. And you're like, no, you stupid dummy. Santa was not on your roof last night.
I'll push back.
It was a burden.
I believed in Santa way too long. I was like 13 still believing in Santa Claus. Do you know what it's like arguing full-throated with people who know that Santa Claus isn't real? Like, no. Santa's ass is real.
Okay, there's
Y'all
a
are just
happy
hating.
medium, but it's not 6.
And it's not like this. What does it mean? I'm trying to find it here. Santa's now prioritizing kids who were different over traditional value. Like, what does that mean?
Do the grandparents know that Santa isn't real? You're Santa. So you choose who you value. If you want to give your kid gifts, like every parent is Santa. This is on parenting and grandparenting in this case. Like,
no, those people are crazy.
Yeah, this
they're
family's
outside
nuts.
of their mind. And if you think like that,
Take a break.
You're also crazy.
Take a break.
I wouldn't want you around me at all.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Santa Claus has gone woke.
What are you gonna tell me? The Tooth Fairy's woke?
Santa Claus gives toys to all the good little boys and girls. Sorry if your child gets dressed up like a Nazi, they don't get a gift. If your child runs out here in blackface on Halloween, Santa looks at them and says, hey, your kid is naughty, he doesn't get a gift.
Push back.
You like
If
Nazis?
you're a child, no.
Okay.
For the sake of this argument. Well, you should never say, do you like Nazis? No, but for the sake of this argument, if that kid dressed up as a Nazi, chances are their parents dressed them up. Guess what? Your parents are Santa, so you're probably still getting gifts on Christmas. This is so stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
What does it even mean? Psychopath.
Do you think this is going to be, Bennett in the chat said, going to be some amazing toxic family Thanksgiving stories this year? I do think potential of all-time toxicity is coming at certain people's Thanksgiving dinner tables.
I talked to a buddy of mine yesterday, and she's like, hey, I've allowed certain people to be way too comfortable around me.
Oh.
And so I'm done with that. And so there's a lot of that also.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, hey, if you make me uncomfortable, I'm making you uncomfortable. And we just get it popping from here.
It used to be a pep talk going into a Thanksgiving.
Like you know how.
Make through it. You know
how.
None of that's a secret.
Uncle
Joe is gonna say something
be Uncle
inappropriate.
Joe. You know how he is. Just let it roll off your back. And now people are like, nah, F him.
I'm gonna fight.
Let's go.
Ooh, some big Thanksgiving. If you fight, please record it and send it into the show.
Don't do
Hey, I forgot to tease our mailbag.
Well, tease it.
We're doing a mailbag.
Are we?
We sure are.
Cool.
We have a new mailbag for Grind City Media, and you can send in questions at any time, and we will answer them. I'm not sure when we'll answer them. We haven't officially decided, but it'll be a once a week kind of thing. And I believe you can also submit questions for the warm-up show, which even though our shows are off the next 2 days, the warm-up show will be going on tonight for Grizzlies Pistons and Friday for Grizzlies Pelicans, and then of course Sunday for Grizzlies Pacers as well. But if you find this mailbag, I tweeted it a few days ago. Grind City Media tweeted a few days ago, and I shared it. Go submit your questions. Ask us anything. That's a dangerous game to play, but we're willing to do so.
Let's do it.
It's
Let's get it popping. I'm excited about it.
Anyway,
I'm looking forward to it.
Final verdict, not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. Not at all. Do you want to do another one? Or do we got to get to what you
Let's just do Drake Kendrick and then get. Speaking of fun Thanksgiving friendly feelings, Drake is taking legal action against Kendrick Lamar, not once, but twice. He's checking his list. He's checking it twice, and he's like, what else can I sue Drake or sue Kendrick for because my feelings were hurt? The first of these came the other day in a petition against Universal Music Group, accusing the label of artificially boosting the streams of Not Like Us, so accusing them with the help of Spotify to engage in illegal scheming with bots, payola, different versions of boosting the numbers of that song and the ultimate play of that song. It's not a full lawsuit. That one is a pre-action petition. It also references a whistleblower who was on a podcast who claimed that they were paid a certain amount of money to set up software that would stream the song constantly. Also references claims that Apple's voice assistant, when asked to play Certified Lover Boy, would play Not Like Us instead. So that happens, and everyone's like, well, that's pretty lame by Drake. Then he does another one. And the second filing came to a Texas court and includes iHeartRadio, and the bulk of it is more pay-to-play schemes for the song, but it also includes new details about Drake's, we'll call them grievances, towards Universal Music, which is the label where he spent his entire career, and he says UMG knew that Kendrick's song falsely accused him of being a certified pedophile and predator, but chose to release it anyway. So that is going towards the defamation side of things and saying that it falsely accused him of being a sex offender. This has officially become the lamest rap beef response of all time. You don't bring the suits in. That's the last thing you do.
You can put it in a song. Like, hey,
Put it in a
you
song.
paid for your Spotify Certified Lover, or not Like Us isn't that good of a song. You're a liar.
We can disagree on that.
Well, I'm just saying that he can do that in song. It's beef. It's not
I
supposed
see what
to.
you were. That wasn't
Yeah.
your commentary. You were saying
No.
you could put that lyric in.
Listen, I don't care for it. But
I know
whatever.
you don't. That's what I thought.
But that's what you do with this. Biggie didn't sue Faith Evans didn't sue Tupac for the lyric. First off, if you're clicking if you be in the clique you claim to be a bad boy, but I effed your wife, or claim to be a player, but I effed your wife, right? Like, Faith didn't go and sue Tupac for that lyric, even though that didn't happen according to her, right? Like, that's not what you do in this situation. That's why Drake continuously loses to Kendrick, because he just take the L. Just be like, okay, I lost this one. I'll dust myself off and do better next time, right? Like, Meek didn't sue Drake when Drake dropped back to back. No, you just kind of shrug your shoulders like, I lost it. He's got the summer now. I'll shut the hell up for a little while and then I'll come back, right? Like, come on, man, don't be out here suing. That's a dweeby thing to do. That is, we're all sitting around the lunch table, and two kids who've been wanting to go at each other start checking one another and start going at it like, that's why your mama's divorced. Yeah, that's why your daddy's a drug addict type stuff, right? And then somebody says something that the other one doesn't like, and he gets up and I'm telling, and goes run to the teacher to tell. It's like, yo, wait a second. I lost all respect for you. You can't be doing that. You said his daddy didn't love him. Who cares if he said your mama was a drug addict? Like, come on, man. Suck that up, take it on the chin, and walk that shit off, man.
I think it is so indicative of how big of an L it was for Drake. It's the lamest response that you could have. But I would assume, feels like he cannot outrun the trademark now of certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Like, that will forever be what a large number of people think of when they think of Drake.
That's what they think of right now.
I know,
right?
but now it's going to be forever. If you start going this route,
you're
it'll be cementing your status forever.
Now. It is forever now. It wasn't going to be forever. Like, you take it on the chin. Nas called Jay-Z a camel.
Yes.
Right? Called him a Tybo hoe.
Yes.
Jay-Z didn't go sue Nas. Like, I'm not in Tybo class. I take jujitsu, right? Like, didn't do that. So what are we doing? What is he doing? Now that's all anybody would think of. And if he had just taken it on the chin, dropped in the song, like, all right, I'm out, I lost, you got it. And then drop some Drake type songs that the women can rock to and dance to in the club, we'd all forget about it in 3 or 4 years. It would be one of those things like Hit 'Em Up, where it's like, oh, that was dope for that time, but now it's kind of just is what it is at this point. No Vaseline is another one. Ice Cube dropped No Vaseline and then worked with Dre and NWA, 5-6 years after that? Right? Like, come on, man. You don't have to do this. That's loser mentality right there.
Yeah.
Certified lawyer boy.
Certified litigation.
Certified litigation boy.
The L is for loser and litigation. Litigation's just lame, period. We live in such an overly litigated world at this point. Keep it out of this. It's dumb. Talk about that at your Thanksgiving dinner table, along with everything else. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Please come out and see us. Us who are still working this holiday week. Yes, us. The whole studio. Kyra down in the booth. Me. Certainly, CJ. Certainly that 4 o'clock game on Friday. The games are early Friday and Sunday. A reminder for everybody. Outside of Grizzlies, because duh, what game are you most excited to watch this weekend?
Ohio State, Michigan. What are we doing? Speaking of playing spoiler.
Do you have any belief?
I think Ohio State has more talent, more skill. Michigan, I think, still struggles to pass and becomes too one-dimensional on the offensive side of the ball. I think Michigan is a tougher football team, though. I think Michigan turns this into a fight. I think Ohio State, in the third or fourth quarter, we've seen them buckle. We've seen them do it in this game. Donovan Edwards 2 years ago just ran wild on them in the second half because they were like, yo, I don't want to fill these holes anymore. I'm tired of getting hit by a pulling guard and a fullback. And I think you put Bredesen in there and you just pound them. You just hit them in the face over and over and over again, Marshawn Lynch style. And I think Michigan comes out on top. I do.
These lines are crazy.
What is it?
21.
That doesn't seem high.
Oregon's a 19-point over Washington.
Doesn't seem high enough.
Georgia's a 19.5 over Georgia
That
Tech.
seems too high.
I know. Colorado's a 16.5 over Oklahoma State. That's probably fair.
I'm not. Yeah.
Boise State's a 19 over Oregon State. And Ole Miss, this is the one that really stood out.
They got. Wait. I gotta guess it. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. 28.5. Ole Miss.
26.
Oh, that seems too low.
For the Egg Bowl?
That seems too low.
Too low.
And this year? Yeah, that seems too low. Ole Miss might get them dudes by 33.
The Egg Bowl's weird.
It is.
It is in Oxford.
Okay.
The Egg Bowl's some weird stuff.
I can't wait.
All right, we'll be back on Monday to talk about it all. It will be a lot to get into. Have a very happy holiday. Grateful for all of you. Thankful for you all who join us each and every day. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Lane Kiffin is up 31. Ball inside the 5 late in that game. Like a minute and a half remaining. Up 31. He goes for the touchdown, doesn't he?
Yes.
I love Rob.